know that generally most of the organisms are multicellular organisms. So they are entitled to perform with various organ systems that perform the various functions of life. Within these systems, there are interdependent subsystems that work together to perform an overall function. At every level in the functioning of an organism, there must be coordination between and within systems. And this is achieved through system integration. So system integration depends on effective communication between components so they can interact. The interactions may be as simple as negative or positive feedback between two components, or it may be even complex at times. So over here, at first, we see the level of organization. As we have already discussed the chapter before, so I'm just going through it in gist. At first, you know that cells are the structural and functional units of a body system. Now cells combine to form tissues which are specialized to perform specific functions. Then we come to organs which are formed of various types of tissues. An organ is a group of tissues in an animal or plant that work together to carry out a specific function of life. For instance, kidney is an organ and that is formed by various types of tissues that carry out the process of excretion. These organs combine to form body systems. Groups of organs interact with each other to perform an overall function of life. Okay? And these
Yeah.
groups are known as body or organ systems. So in humans, there are 11 body systems that are recognized, like digestive system, integumentary system, nervous system, reproductive system, skeletal system, and so on. And these are linked with each other to carry out a particular function. Now, these body systems as a whole interact with each other to form the entire organism. An organism is a living individual made up of interconnected parts, organ systems composed of organs made up of tissues and constituent cells. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, next we compare hormonal and nervous signaling. Integration of organs in an animal requires transport of materials and energy and effective communication. Materials and energy are transported between organs by the circulatory system. So blood circulates through all organs and almost all tissues and transports the things like energy in the form of substrates for respiration, oxygen for aerobic respiration, water and carbon compounds needed for growth or repair, and waste products of metabolism. Communication between organs is carried out by both nervous system and endocrine system. As we have already studied before that both nervous system and endocrine system are required for integrating our body functions or coordinating our body functions with the surrounding environment. Now, there are some basic differences between hormonal signaling and nervous signaling. In case of hormonal signaling, the type of signaling is chemical, while it is electrical in case of nervous signaling. Hormonal signaling occurs through blood, while nervous signaling occurs through neurons. Hormonal signaling, the destination is widespread, but only certain target cells respond. While nervous signal passes only to specific cells via synapses. So we can say that hormonal signaling is of a wide spectrum range or broad spectrum range, while nervous signaling is very much specific, precise to a particular location. Hormonal signaling acts on target cells in any tissue, while nervous signaling acts on muscles or glands. And so the speed of signaling is also very higher in case of nervous signaling, while it is quite slow in case of hormonal signaling. Let us see what are their effects. In case of nervous signaling, it causes contraction of striated muscles, contraction of smooth muscles, change to the rate of cardiac muscle and secretion by glands. While in case of hormonal signaling, it causes growth, development, reproduction, changes to metabolic rate, changes to solute concentration in the liquid, and mood. What is the duration of response? As you see that the type of signaling is very fast or very rapid in case of nervous signaling, and it is also not long lasting. It is of short duration. While in case of hormonal signaling, it affects a wide range of tissues slowly, and it has a greater impact for a longer period of time until the hormone has broken down. Now, over here, we see how the brain integrates information. The brain is the central integrating organ of our body. It receives information, it processes it, it stores some of it, and sends instructions to all parts of the body to coordinate life processes. So, what can be said that they can coordinate various life processes. The brain can coordinate various life processes, and it has the ability to take decisions, what to do and what not to do, and when to do. Processing of information leads to decision making by the brain. This may result in signals being sent to muscles or glands, which cause these organs to carry out a response. So it may also have a negative effect, but it occurs gradually. Means the brain decides, and if it takes the right decision, then it leads to such processes which are helpful for us. While the spinal cord coordinates unconscious processes. It is located inside the vertebral column or backbone. The area of tissue in the center of the spinal cord is the gray matter, and it acts as an integrating center for unconscious processes. Neurons bring information to the gray matter. Neurons bring information to the gray matter from the brain and the sense organs. Over here, we have come across various types of neurons. As you know, we have discussed already. They are motor neurons, sensory neurons, and interneurons. Can you tell me that what are the functions of motor neurons? Ritvi, what is the function of motor neurons?
To send neurons from the brain to the body parts.
To send signals,
Yeah.
convey signals. Yes, continue. Convey signals from
Brain to the other body parts.
Yes, brain to the other body parts. Very good. While sensory neurons receive the information from the sense organs and transmit it to the brain. And this pathway between the sensory neuron and the motor neuron are connected by some middle neurons, which are said to be interneurons. Am I clear? Is it clear to you?
What?
I said that. Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
I said the connection between the sensory neuron and the motor neuron is made by interneurons. Now, spinal cord not only connects these parts, but it also helps in making certain decisions for which we cannot think, for which we do not have time, and we have to take an instant action, which is said to be reflex action. Sensory neurons convey messages from receptors to the CNS. So, receptor cells located in the skin and sense organs detect changes in the external environment. For instance, there are sensory cells like rod cells and cone cells in the retina of the eye that detect light. And these receptor cells then pass these impulses to sensory neurons. Nerve endings of some sensory neurons act as receptors for touch and heat without the need for a separate receptor cell. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. There are also receptor cells inside the body that monitor our internal conditions. Like stretch receptors in striated muscle, sense the state of contraction, allowing the brain to deduce the posture of the body. Stretch receptors in the walls of arteries give a measure of blood pressure. Again, there are chemoreceptors in the walls of blood vessels that monitor oxygen concentrations, carbon dioxide, and glucose. As you know that when carbon dioxide dissolves in the plasma of blood, then it forms a weak acid that is said to be carbonic acid. And since this is an acid, so there will be hydrogen ions liberated from it. And the release of these hydrogen ions will lead to lowering of pH of blood.